Hello my fellow lifers, welcome back. This is me telling you guys that the head casting tutorial is up on the channel Obelisk Productions After Hour Effects. I've got a link in the description below for you guys to head on over there and look at it. That was the first part of this video. The second part of this video is me wanting to talk about Star Wars. As we all know, 3 trailers have been released now. Oh, and they were beautiful. God, I love them. There's something special about these trailers. Something deep in them that I think all of us Star Wars fanatics can feel. And that feeling is the original feeling Star Wars had. I'm almost not even able to describe how the feeling is, but I know you guys understand what the feeling is, so it's a very strange medium here. But when I was a kid, my dad actually owned the VHS tapes for the original 3 movies. And my siblings and I would watch those movies religiously. A few weeks ago, I actually popped back in the VHS and watched it with my dad. And it's amazing the wear and tear that we have put on those VHSs. Now obviously, them sitting on a shelf puts some wear and tear on them because VHS just fades naturally. So as, kids, my brother and I would go get sticks and, fight in the backyard, me as Darth Vader, him as Luke Skywalker, we're defending the Rebel base or something Star Wars related, just our imaginations taking off into the Star Wars universe. Those were some really good times. My brother and I actually got really good with fighting with these sabers and, how to manipulate the motion of the saber, or stick in this case, and make it look fluid and almost martial arts kind of feel to it. Since growing up, we've kind of upgraded though when it comes to fighting with sticks. We kind of purchased the real deal, I guess you could say. So needless to say, you can call me a crazy Star Wars fan. I'm a Star Wars nut. Everything about Star Wars is amazing. Now, I'm not a collector. I'm not those guys who seek out toys and cards and action figures, stuff like that. If you want to do it, it's totally cool, go for it. It's just not my thing. I like to be a casual Star Wars fan, whereas there are extremes out there. But I'm not hating on the extremes, don't get me wrong. It's totally cool. I love seeing the stuff that people are able to collect. It looks really cool when you have dozens of characters on the wall. Don't get me wrong, that stuff is awesome. It's just not me. So back to the original point. So Star Wars has been in my life for as long as I can remember. When they announced Phantom Menace back in 1999, I was only 8 years old, and I was ecstatic. I was freaking out. I was so ready to have that Star Wars feeling again, like something new, because I had memorized the 3 movies. And to an 8-year-old, that movie was amazing. It was spot on. It was Star Wars. You had Darth Maul with the dual saber. Going back to watch it now, it's a completely different story, though. And then the second one came out, and it was still cool because it was Star Wars, but at the same time, it was like, what's going on? And then the third one came out, and it was a bit better than the second one, but it was still weird. There was something different about these movies from the originals. And I was torn. I was like, why is this different? What is so different about this? And the CG that George Lucas used was probably the biggest issue with these movies. In the original 3, he basically had very limited CG. They had to do everything practically. And in doing so, it gave the movies this very real style to it. It almost had this real feeling to it, where it could actually exist. But with the prequels, he took it almost to a different universe. It was still the same storyline, the same plot of Star Wars, but it didn't feel like Star Wars. And I'm pretty sure some of you do agree with me on this. Those came out, and obviously the Star Wars fan base were kind of let down. It wasn't what they were expecting. It was still Star Wars, it was still great, but it wasn't the Star Wars we wanted. And then they announced they're making The Force Awakens. And people freaked out. Obviously, J.J. Abrams is directing it, they're doing practical effects, they're doing this, they're doing that. It sounded like, at the time, they were doing everything right. And then we get the first glimpse of it. We get the first trailer. And oh my gosh. With the voice and the intense, suspenseful feeling of it, and then the Millennium Falcon. And watching that trailer, it was almost like that feeling again. It was a hint of it though. It wasn't all there, because it was still a first trailer, and you didn't really get to see a whole lot in the trailer, honestly. They showed very little plot or anything in that trailer. So that was amazing. People freaked out. Everybody freaked out. Everybody was happy. They're like, yeah, Star Wars, yeah! And then the second trailer dropped. And by far, the second one is my favorite out of all of them. You have that speeder going across the desert, and the down Star Destroyer right there, and you have the song playing in the background, and also it just hits you so deep, you're just like, oh god, wait a minute, there it is. There's the feeling. And you're sitting there in awe, and you're staring at the screen like, By far, the best trailer that has come out so far. And then the third one dropped, and this one has actually given you a bit more of the actual plot, a bit more of the actual story. But they're doing so well at keeping as much information away from us as possible that the suspense is literally going to kill us all, but even before the movie comes out. I've told my fiancée on many occasions that I'm probably going to die before the movie comes out because of these trailers. I'm just watching them and it's like, oh, what? That's it? That's it? That's all they gave us? But at the same time, it's like, yes, thank you for not spoiling anything. That's going to make the movie so much better. So the movie's coming out. I'm so ready. You guys are ready. I'm ready. I can't handle it anymore. The suspense is going to kill me. It really will. And I'm going to be there premiere night. I've already bought my tickets. And I'm going to be in full, costume with my lightsaber and, my friends and stuff. We're going to go see it. And it's going to be amazing. And I'm going to cry. Man, I'm going to cry like a bitch. But yeah, that's my rant today about Star Wars and how I'm so ready. We're so ready for this. This is going to be the biggest movie night ever. Everybody's going to be like a whole one big family that one night. Everybody's going to be in on it. The Star Wars community will never be closer than it will be on December 18th. Take care.